I am a fan of working Hooper levels and variations of Hooper levels to work on my dog, because I sometimes, because sometimes it is better to pick out 2 or 3 things that you need for your Hooper courses and give your dog a chance to practice them, rather than trying to do all of it all in one course. So I had this set up the other day. I had barrel each end and 2 gates in the middle, and I put them about 5 meters apart. Now, previous video I was showing you how I was working my dog with then, but then I had a little idea. I thought, hang on a minute, I need to teach my dog, because he's having a bit of trouble, learning to ignore decoys. So this is what I did. I put up 2 hoops on one side, 1 hoop on the other. Now, there's a big distance. Now, I made them stand about 5 meters back from this line here. So that meant that there's sort of like 7, maybe 8 meters between these 2 hoops in this line of hoops there, 1 and 2. Okay, so what do you think? Well, first of all, I checked that I could get my dog to do this loop around the obstacles here and ignore these hoops. Not as easy as you think, and that is where I was discovering that if my dog turned too wide here, he tended or end up going through that hoop on a diagonal, which I did not want. I wanted this path here. The other thing that I discovered was I needed to remember to move. And you're thinking, move? You don't move. Move my feet and step back and suck my tummy in and lean back, so that I'm drawing my dog towards me by using my body, rather than just leaning forward with my arms or whatever and waving them. So, lesson for me. Then we tried the lines, because it's important that your dog knows the difference between turning and keep going. What word do you use? What signs do you use to tell your dog? So what I did was, imagine here, this makes a box. So I've got, there's 2 sides of the box there, 2 sides of the box there. So you can then practice your go on, okay, by either building it up with just maybe 2 hoops and then going on to the 3rd, and by standing at one of these corners, as I called it, to get the dog to keep going, because that's the easier bit. All right, so the easy bit is to be able to stand at a place where you can draw your dog towards you and then send it past you. Okay, and this exercise is your forward, your go on. Again, I don't like machine gun training. Go, 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 go. I think that can encourage people to sound anxious, frantic, annoyed in their, depending on the pitch of their voice. But if you train yourself to actually say things in a softer tone, go on, or go on, push, then your dog will have a better chance or be less distracted by thinking, oh God, what do they sound like? Am I doing it right? No, you're doing it right. So, each part is standing where you can draw your dog towards you first and then send them past you. And then you work back towards standing with your dog. Okay, so stand up there. So it's a shorter recall stance. Shorter recall, straight on. So it might be easier to send your dog onto 2 hoops rather than just a single one, because that then obviously keeps the dog going forward. And then finally you're standing with your dog at the other end there, and you're going to get your dog to go straight on. When you say go on, it does not mean turn to the left or right and take the gates or whatever's coming in. So you can then build that up to, hey ho, look at this. We got a slalom. We got a slalom from that hoop to this hoop. Okay? And it's 5 metres apart. You're not going... so, you don't want your dog turning sharply into them. You want them to make an arch. Can you see this? You want them to make an arch so that they can see the hoop and go straight underneath it. If you teach your dog to do diagonal things and then straighten them up, you're just teaching the dog to try and, take it as sharply as possible. And to me, I will say to me, that is not what is safe for your dog in hoopers. And they want hoopers to stay safe for dogs. So don't take chances. Don't try and worry about how quick your dog can take a turn. Let them decide for themselves. There's your slalom. Go on, slalom. So you might say right. I might say right, but I might also say slalom, because I want my dog to know it's taking a certain type of turn. All right? Not just a right turn, but a slalom turn is a half turn. It's up to you. And then down again. So with this setup, I had my start lines, I had my forwards, I had my slaloms, I had my go on and ignore decoys from my side and their side of the obstacles. So with just this small setup, I was able to practice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Hooperlevel exercises. And then, of course, the more proficient you get, the more bold you can be about standing where you are, thinking about your handler position and getting the same exercise. So, hope that gives you food for thought.